In doing anything exceptional, and I like to say I've done some exceptional things. And I'm no different than anyone else. A lot of people have done exceptional things. What I haven't done is done exceptional thing over and over again. But a lot of us have done exceptional things. I almost want to say we've tripped over it. But you can do it over and over and over again if you're willing to pay the cost of obedience and sacrifice and listen to the old videos if you want to hear the process. Keep in mind, I'm taking you on a journey. One of the biggest problems I believe we have in our community is that we fear Judas. You're so scared to move forward because you're scared of what Judas can do to you. And if you paid attention to Judas, Judas only has as much authority as is within his talent. What I mean by that is a person can only do so much damage. And even a fire that violates an acorn produces a tree. One of the most challenging times of my life, yet I rise. I was having a conversation with my godmother today about the perception of people. Again, go to one of the previous videos. But perception to everyone is what will cause you to walk your path. Because you can only do it based upon your perception. How you perceive things, or what your perception is of things, drives you. It will keep you from your perspective if you're constantly avoiding the Judas spirit. You cannot get anywhere without the Judas experience. I have been Judas. I have had Judases in my life. I've done a lot of things wrong. I don't tell you that for you to feel sorry for me. I don't tell you that to highlight it. I tell you that because that is the human experience. Man, that's powerful. See, the disciples are a human experience being trained up by a spiritual experience. Getting them to drop their human experiences and translating their talents over to the spiritual experience. You can't fear your Judases. Right now I'm perusing through my prayer time and my study, or not my prayer time, but my study time, and I'm looking at the difference between Jacob and Esau, or Israel and Edom. Edom eventually became Jordan, although there was the southern tip of Israel was a part of Edom at one point. And the difference between the Muslims and what we now call the Christians, Esau was Jacob's Judas, if you will. Let me explain that. Jacob was preordained to have the bloodline of Jesus the Christ. It was always going to be that way. Rebecca was given that prophecy. So she favored Jacob, even though she had two sons, Esau and Jacob. So she trained him to be in position when it was time for the blessing. Esau was ticked. Jacob ran away, and it was all preordained, but they didn't know it. It's just the way it was. Jacob ran to his mother's brother, Laban, cold cat. Had him busy for over 20 years winning his wives. In the meantime, and the story that no one tells is the story of Esau. Esau, in the meantime, prospered. Lacked nothing. Nothing. The harder road was that of the lineage of Jesus. Esau was cool. Listen, for most of you, this hasn't been taught in your churches. Keep in mind, you're fearing Judas. What I mean by fearing Judas is, and Judas being, Esau being Jacob's Judas, in other words, the one that launched him into his journey. When you think about Judas, the actual Judas who betrayed Jesus for 30 pieces of silver, I think it was 30 pieces of silver, and Jesus, even after he betrayed him, gave him permission to betray him, but after he betrayed him, Jesus had already finished his 33 and a third years. And he launched him into destiny. He got a chance to actually go home. Now, it was a terrible transition. Ooh, this is going to mess with some of y'all's religion. But Judas was useful. Unfortunately, he committed suicide because he didn't get what his role actually was, or maybe he did. Maybe he got the aha moment later. But Judas can't harm you. So, when you're making decisions, and the reason why I wanted to show you that with Jacob and Esau is because Esau didn't harm Jacob either. Esau still prospered, but so did Jacob. Some of you are too concerned about what other people can do for you or do to you. You're out of order. You're worried about too much. You should welcome your Judas. You should let your Judas operate based upon his or her talent. Because when it's time, you'll be launched into your ministry. Now, I have to keep the message short, but there's so much revelation in there. When you don't allow your fear to overtake you, you can do exceptional things. And even when things are challenging, which they are in my life today, I'll still make the video. I'll still excel. I'll still bear the cross. I'll still move forward. And so will you, as long as you don't stop trying to get rid of your Judases.